Hey guys, welcome back to Shep Talk and welcome back to a Shep Talk movie review. Before we get into that movie review though, quick admin notes. One, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a video. Two, if you haven't done so already, I am on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So make sure you go and check the links in the description down below. And three, brand new, we have merch. So at first I was just going to make shirts for myself, and then some people said that they wouldn't mind buying them. I'm not trying to make a profit off of this, but I do have a Teespring page now. The link to that will be in the description down below as well. I have it set really. I'm not going to make money on this. It's as low as Teespring will let me make it. I just want to get the word of mouth out, and people are wearing like my logo or my banner, which this one is. This is the banner. Then I'll greatly appreciate it, guys. And any profit that I do make from this merch will go really pretty much directly back into this channel. I'll save up for new camera, new microphone, new green screens, etc., whatever. It will mean a lot to me if you guys do support me. Now let's get back to my review of Greenland. Greenland was directed by Rick Roman Way, I guess, W-A-U-G-H, and was written by Chris Sparling. Greenland stars Gerard Butler, Morena Baccarin, and Roger Dale Floyd. Quick synopsis. A planet-killing comet is on its way to Earth, and the Garrett family is making the perilous journey to what they believe will be sanctuary during the crisis. Now, first, I want to give a big thanks to Teddy's Take. He was the one that gave me the code, so that way I could actually do this online screening, which was really great. It was my first online screening that I've been able to do because work usually takes place like on a Monday or Tuesday, and I usually have to work the next day. This time I didn't. Yay! And it was really well done. I could actually pause the movie, so if I had to go to the bathroom or go grab me a snack and stuff like that, so I wasn't missing anything. So it was really well done. The video quality was really good. There was no buffering. There was no nothing. It went off without a hitch. And wow, I kind of hope they continue doing this when the pandemic's done, because it was really great to be able to just watch at home, not worry about getting to a theater, not worried about if I was going to be at the end of the line and stuff like that. Because I logged on, they give you the link like an hour before, and it's still first come first serve. So at 6 o'clock I logged on. I was like, boom, waiting in line. But okay, so back to Greenland. Greenland opens today, December 18th. It's on on your streaming services. It has a runtime of 2 hours with a rating of PG-13. I will be honest, I had no idea what this movie was about. I didn't see the trailer for it. I saw like the poster, and it had Gerard Butler, and it had Morena Baccarin, who I really love. Still need to get her autograph for my Firefly. She's my last autograph for Firefly. She always canceled before pandemic when she went to a convention. And boy, was this movie not a disappointment. We pretty much open on John Garrity, who's played by Gerard Butler, and he's doing his day-to-day work. He's a structural engineer. He helps design skyscrapers. And then we have him heading over to his wife Allison, where we kind of get the feeling that they are estranged. Some stuff happened that they've been separated, but she still allows him to come over and interact with their son, Nathan. Why they show this is because in the background we're hearing news about this comet called Clark. And it is a big comet. It has these trunks that are falling off, and some of them is going to hit Earth, but the majority of the big chunks are supposed to pass by Earth. And so everybody's having these comet parties. John has to go out and pick up some last minute party supplies, because that's one thing they're having over at the house is they're having their own comet watching party. But when John's out with his son Nathan, he gets a presidential alert. He notices though that not everybody in the area or in that supermarket is getting these presidential alerts, and then he gets a phone call stating that he and his family have been selected for not quarantine, but I guess sanctuary they've been selected to go to these secure locations that are supposed to protect them from whatever crisis is happening around the world. Of course, Comet Clark is not going to pass by the Earth. And not going into too many details, this is where it starts to pick up. This Comet Clark is going to hit Earth. Well, we already knew pieces were going to hit Earth, but there's a bigger piece that's bigger than the comet, or bigger than, the asteroid that landed and killed off the dinosaurs. And so now everybody's panicking, and now they got to get to the designated area to, get to safety. But of course, this wouldn't really be a movie if John, Allison, and Nathan get to the airport or get to that designated location safely and are able to, go to Greenland. But so they do get separated, and that's where really this movie takes off, is once Allison and Nathan are on their own and John is on his own. Allison decides that she's going to head up to her father's, leaves a note for John to meet them at her father's house. And that's really when you kind of see the dark side of humanity, because a lot of stuff is happening, and sadly, the human race doesn't really shine. There are some really, really dark moments in here, and I give props to Morena Baccarin because she performed outstandingly in this movie. I could see her getting some award work, nomination with this work, because I really felt connected with Allison and how things were going and how she was feeling and the trials that she had to go through. John, on the other hand, is feeling the same way. He is pretty much turning into a machine. He is just trying to get up to his wife and kid, and he's doing everything that he can to make sure he gets there and gets there alive to see them. This movie is, and for me at least, was like a roller coaster of emotions. Like I said, it has its highs, it has its lows. You don't really know what's really going to happen around the corner. This is your typical, disaster movie, I'm not going to lie, but it's the acting inside of it that really compels you with this movie. It's what would you do to survive? How would you do, what choices would you make? Would you be some of these people that just start looting and try to and think that they're going to survive? It's crazy. And kind of seeing how the United States behaved in a pandemic, I don't think we'd have really a lot of good people out there. Now, I will say that this movie does show a lot of the bad side of humanity in this movie, but it does show the good side. It does show that there's people still out there that would have stayed at their post, done what they needed to do. They had people at FEMA camps trying to help out families as best they could. They had, I like that it showed as well the military side of this as well, because there's points where people are complaining to the military, like, oh, why don't you let us in? You guys are safe. You guys are going to be able to go to these, sanctuary areas. And they would say, no, our family isn't selected. I'm not going where you're going. I'm here doing my job when I should be home with my family, but I'm not. So it really gets you the feels. It shows you a lot of aspects of humanity. And as I said before, Gerard Butler and Morena Baccarin do an outstanding job. I don't think if they were able to sell it as well as they did, that we would be as invested as we are in this movie, because it is, at the beginning, a really kind of a slow burn to work up to them being on the run and trying to get where they need to get to. It's really, really focused on them. So if they weren't having a good performance, I don't think we would have had or been as invested in this movie, at least as I was. I was invested in this movie. I kind of knew how it was going. You guys probably, once you watch this, will know where the movie is taking you, and I'm not trying to spoil anything with it, but I was still along for that ride, and I was still believing everything going along with it. Now, as ever with a kid, Roger Dale Floyd does a good job. I think he has room to grow. He does have some very emotional scenes, and I'll give it to him that there's like one scene where I was like, where he had his moment to shine, and he shone. I was like, yeah, kid, that is what I'm talking about. Good job. I'm happy with the way you did that. But he does have his moments. He's still a child actor. I think he does have potential to be more. He does have that room to grow. But again, with kids, it's very hard. Sometimes you have really great kids that just can turn it on and turn it off. And some that you can tell that they're good. They just need a little bit more work. And then cinematography. Wow, that's another thing. Knowing this is a disaster type movie, you know that your CGI is going to have to be on point. And I think it was pretty on point for, I'd say, probably about 85 to 90% of the CGI. It really looked good. It looked believable. It didn't really pull you out of the movie. But there are certain points, I'll say, that just certain things I think they just kind of rushed or didn't think people would pay attention to. That got you a little bit out of the movie. Not too much, and I wouldn't really complain too much on it, but I thought I'd at least put that out there, that for about 85 to 90%, the movie is really well done. The CGI is good. But you can't be perfect all the time. It's really hard, and I'm sure the budget for this movie wasn't as much as we could be at a typical movie. Overall, I was highly impressed with this movie and the acting that took place in it. I will say this is kind of your standard, again, disaster type movie. So you kind of, once you go into it, once you get invested into it, you know where you're going from point A to point B to point C. There's not really too many twists and turns. I will say some of the humanity choices that take place in it really gets kind of dark. It's PG-13, so nothing really too bad happens. But again, it does show a really dark side to humanity. Again, with 2020, with the pandemic, we've kind of seen that humanity is either extreme to the one side or extreme to the left. There's very few people that are in that middle road. But I highly recommend Greenland. If you're looking for something new to watch and you do like disaster movies, I'll give it to you for Greenland. But with all that being said today, guys, Shep Talk gives Greenland 4 Sheps out of 5. Thank you for watching. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It does help my channel out greatly, and I do truly appreciate it. But that is all I have time for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.